I might as well find it and just bring it out.
This is Gabriel's number 6.
Which one is it?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Into the Spider. Now you know why I got beef.
You don't got beef.
I don't got beef.
You just wished.
No, I don't wish nothing.
You just wish it would have made my list.
I just wish we had more in common. Welcome to the Fourth Act, our entertainment podcast. I'm your host, Gabriel. Alongside me is my good friend, my buddy, old pal, Misael. This is episode number 1, and what are we doing today, my friend?
We are listing our top 10 movies.
Yes, sir. So, the way that this is going to go down, we're going to reveal them on our note cards. I have your cards. You have mine.
Exactly.
Who's going first?
You go first.
So I'm revealing yours. Okay. I was going to take a drink, but let me see.
I'm nervous.
Is it bad?
So well, hold on. Let's stop. Let's stop for a second.
Okay.
So first of all, these aren't ranked as like
absolutely not.
In any order. These are just our top 10 that are either nostalgic to us or just that we like.
Top 10, not best, not movies that we think are the best.
Precisely.
Our favorite.
And for the record, this was incredibly difficult to do. I have an exhaustive list that took me about days to actually, make and then choose my top 10.
That's a good point. We should get into our honorable mentions first.
Honorable mentions first?
Yep.
All right, that's fine with me.
Yeah, because let's not mention them at the end.
Okay.
1 second. We weren't prepared.
Well, since you are going first, which is actually my card, how about you go first with your first honorable mention?
Well, I don't have my list yet.
What do you mean you don't have your list yet?
Well, I got to pull it up somewhere. I wasn't prepared. I'll tell you this before I pull it up. First honorable mention, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which one?
The first one.
Okay.
The first one I think is close to perfect. It just didn't make my list because there's 10 movies that I think are better.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see here. Name one of yours while I find this.
Well, go on. You can't just...
I don't want to go into detail on the honorable mentions.
Okay,
they don't deserve it. They didn't make the list. They don't deserve it.
Okay, my honorable mention is Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh. Okay, I got my list now. Into the Spider-Verse. Interesting. Very interesting. So why didn't it make the list? Any reason, or you just had movies that were better?
I just had to move stuff around.
Okay.
It was difficult. Like I said, it was incredibly difficult. But
how many honorable mentions do you have? Because I have 5.
I can name more, but
only 5.
No, I'll stick with 1.
1?
Yeah.
Wow.
Honorable mentions is not something you can just throw around. It's just 1.
Well, I'm throwing out 5.
No, you're throwing out 1. Fine, go throw out 5.
I want to throw.
Okay, fine.
I'm throwing out 6 now.
No.
Okay. So, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Almost made it. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
That would be my other, or one of my other honorable mentions.
You can't say that. You can't just steal my list.
No, I'm not stealing your list.
You go first.
Okay. So, I'll stick with what I said.
Okay.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Gotcha.
Prisoner of Azkaban, and I do have it right here. It's listed on here.
Okay. Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow. We're like the same, dude.
I know, right?
Dude.
The other one that didn't make the list, but that I love from the nostalgia and how much I loved it as a kid, Toy Story.
Oh, look at that.
Toy Story.
I didn't consider that, but
really?
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Another one that I liked, that I love, and I did not add on here is The Shawshank Redemption.
You know what? I've never seen it.
Wow.
I just think it's one of those movies at this point where everybody talks about it. I'm just like, no.
Oh, just like No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, I'm being a contrarian.
Wow.
I'll get to No Country for Old Men. Maybe one day Shawshank Redemption.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh. Augie would appreciate that.
Yeah. And then I just have to throw one of these out there.
Okay.
But it is hard. Finding Nemo.
Okay. So 2 animated movies. Yeah. 3, because Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah. Into Spider-Verse.
I'd be interested to see if any animated movies do make your list. As for me, I mentioned Guardians, Harry Potter, La La Land.
La La Land.
Have you ever
watched it?
You know what it is, all right?
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, wow.
I actually just booted it today for something. So I'm 50-50 on that. Like, that would probably be my number 10.
Right.
Alongside the first one that you're going to reveal over there. And maybe to your surprise, I kind of combine them together.
Okay.
Avengers.
Oh, wow.
Infinity War / Endgame. Did not make the list.
They did not make the list. I'm shocked.
Why is that? Is it on your list?
I don't know.
We're about to find out.
I guess we're going to find out.
Okay. So we're a little unprepared, but we're ready now.
Yeah.
You ready?
Go for it.
So, again, I'm revealing his list. He's revealing mine. So, first, on Misa's list is Whiplash. I approve of this one right here, baby. Now, this is a movie that I recommended you. Well, we saw it together.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
What do you mean, go ahead?
Why did it make your list?
It made my list because it was, for me, one of the first movies that was very emotionally heavy.
Right.
In the sense where you truly felt all the emotions.
It's emotionally taxing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it requires a lot from you.
It requires a lot. And I remember when we were watching it, I was tense. By the way, full on spoilers.
Oh, yeah, we should mention that.
Mm-hmm.
All these movies will have spoilers. And if I do my job right, there should be time codes so you could just skip ahead. If our producer does his job right.
Exactly. So, I remember just feeling angry. I was feeling all those emotions as I was seeing this, and I was like, man, if that was me, I would beat the shit out of that fucking professor.
Yeah.
And
J.K. Simmons.
Phenomenal.
Really good. I almost
phenomenal.
said J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, really good bad guy.
No, J.K. Simmons was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think he won the best supporting actor, right, for that movie.
Yeah.
He did. Incredible. Miles Teller. Great.
That's the best I've seen Miles Teller.
I think what made it even more impressive was when I learned that he is the one playing the drums. Like, that is him. So all that you see, that's him. And for all you music lovers, like true music lovers, you're gonna love this movie because it goes deep into like music theory and talking about how jazz is and the beats and the tempo and whatnot. And it's great.
And just or not even just music lovers, but just if you've ever been passionate about something and really wanted to chase something or wanted to be great or one of the best at something, watch this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, reveal mine.
Now let's see Gabriel's. And I'm not surprised about this one.
Are you not?
No, Creed.
Oh no, the list I think is backwards. Oh no. Well, you know what? Let me rearrange it really quick. No, but that's a good one because
Okay, well, rearrange this one.
Yeah, you already.
Creed is a phenomenal movie, but once you're done rearranging that,
okay, so just do it the other way, like that. So yeah, once you pick it up, you'll know the other one.
Okay,
but yes, so Creed. So since we went backwards, I was saving this one for last. But you already know it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I just think it's perfect. There's a reason why. I know these aren't ranked, but that was my last one for a reason. It's great. You don't even need to like Rocky. Again, this is like one of those movies where just if you've ever been competitive or like to see things compete, if you ever want to root for somebody, he's easy to root for. You buy into it and it just chills. The whole third act is just chills.
Yeah, I think they do a great job at that in this movie where I did feel a lot easier to root for him than I did for Rocky. And I don't know, I guess just kind of relating to not much relating, but kind of understanding where this guy was coming from was, I feel like, a bit more understanding than what Rocky, from his background.
Right.
Although, don't get me wrong, I get his background story as well.
And Rocky is in this movie, and he has his own fight. He fights cancer. he fights and beats cancer. I mean, it does sound funny, but that is what he's doing. Yeah. And speaking of awards, I don't think he was nominated, he definitely didn't win supporting actor, but I think he won supporting actor at the Golden Globes. He definitely won. I think it was the Golden Globes. But Stallone's incredible in here. Michael B. Jordan, this is like his big. He was already in some stuff, but yeah, this is like his big breakout, his come out party.
Right.
But yeah, just you don't even have to like Rocky, but if you do, it definitely enhances this movie. And just again, third act chills over and over and over. The montage, him standing up, seeing his dad and facing his fear, everything perfect.
It's a great movie for sure.
Okay. Number two on Misael's list. Oh, this is awesome. I want to see your list. No, this one I didn't consider.
Okay.
This is Logan.
Logan.
Hugh Jackman in his final appearance as Wolverine until Deadpool. It was supposed to be his final.
Right. It was supposed to be his final, but Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan based on a comic.
Logan.
Well, they're all based on comics, but
I think what I love about this movie is that we kind of see this what was to me one of the coolest, maybe even greatest superheroes growing up, and kind of seeing him in his decline and seeing his struggles with everything that's going on and just kind of dealing with that. And then I don't know, it's just such a great movie.
And another thing to note is that growing up before the MCU was the MCU, before we had a DC, we had EU and all that shit. Yeah, we had X-Men, we had Spider-Man, and we had X-Men. And they kind of both came back to back, but for sure X-Men was first. And also shout out to Blade. Blade came out around there too, yeah.
Good shit.
But Hugh Jackman was kind of like the godfather of the MCU.
Exactly.
Like without the success of that and making a movie star out of him, we probably don't get the MCU.
Yeah. So it's just a great movie.
Great list.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this was really supposed to be the first one. So
okay, so this is supposed to be Gabriel's first one.
But it is the second one now.
So let's see.
Number 2.
You have 2 cards here.
Yeah, take off that first. The first one could go.
Oh.
What kind of movie is it?
As y'all might guess, it's a superhero movie.
Which superhero?
Spider-Man 3.
But it's not the movie you probably think. Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3.
Let me put this down.
All right, this needs explanation.
That's why I wanted it to go first.
Okay.
Spider-Man 3 is a bad movie. But it's one of my favorites. Now, when I was coming up with this list, it was one of those that was undeniable, where it's just every time it's on, well, I don't really watch cable anymore, but it came out in 2007.
Okay.
Every time it's on, you put it on. When it came out in the theaters, my mom took me out of school early to go watch it by my request. It's just a comfort movie for me, where it's even though it's bad, this is before the memes too, because I love watching it for the memes too now. But it just, I already said it best. It is a comfort movie. It makes me feel good. Or even though it's not a good movie at all.
Yeah, I understand. And I think a lot of us will understand. And I think moving forward with this list, I think we're going to see that more.
Yeah. Oh, nice tease. But one thing I do want to note is that the action in this movie is really good.
Oh, no, it is.
The subway scene with Sandman, when he goes all dark Peter Parker, when he goes emo Peter Parker. It is funny. It is cheesy.
It has that iconic,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You watch it for the memes now more than anything. I think people are coming around on it.
I will admit, when I watched it, we were
2007. I was in 7th grade.
Yeah, I was 6th.
Yeah,
and
so it's not like we were critiquing it when we were that young.
But I thought it was cool.
Exactly.
I was like, "Oh shit, this is badass."
Exactly. Movie. It is a cool movie. This is a movie that I quote a lot. This and there's gonna be another movie coming up that I quote a lot, where it's just undeniable that this is one of my favorites. It's not even an opinion. It's undeniable. I can't lie to myself. I quote this movie all the time. And yeah, it definitely deserves a spot on my list.
I'm glad you added it.
And that's why I wanted to go first, because I hope now people can understand that this is a favorite list. We don't think all these movies are great. At least I can speak on mine. I don't know about yours. So far, 2 great movies for you.
Thank you.
Number 3 for Misael. The Return of the King. There's only one return, buddy, and it's of the Jedi. What is? Explain yourself.
First of all,
my friend George is going to be happy with this, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Okay. I've seen Lord of the Rings all the way through once, and I just like talking shit about them. But why do you like this movie? Or why is it on your list?
It's on my list because mainly, so my dad was a huge he is a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and that's how I became a fan of it.
Okay. Of the books or just the movies?
No, the movies. And that's kind of what, like I said, it got me, it made me into a fan of this world. But that aside, it's just such a badass movie. Like, we see this, there's a
lot going on in there.
The world and the story, what's going on in the first and the second movie, and and seeing it all coming together in the third one, where we think it's like, oh shit, like the world is freaking doomed, and there's only one person that can freaking save us from this shit, and it's the freaking king. The Return of the King, baby.
See, I binge watched all 3 over a weekend, so I don't remember them that well.
Well, you should give them some more time.
I'm definitely my friend George likes to rewatch them every December, and he keeps inviting me over to watch them, but he wants to do them all, like the extended cuts.
That's
like
crazy.
4 hours each.
I think I told you they recently played it in theaters a couple weeks ago, but I couldn't go for some reason.
Okay, so you were hinting it at me, and I didn't even know.
Right, and I just think it has some of the coolest action sequences, battles, I should say. They're freaking huge. They're just so cool.
You got a great list so far.
Thank you.
Like, even then, like, I'm not a huge fan. I don't have any like negatives or anything like that. It's just kind of like they all blend because I just watch them all over the weekend. Right. It culminates very well, like with the whole ring and the Gollum and there's a ghost army. There's so much happening. It's just so
cool. It's a true epic.
Sauron, the Eye of Sauron. See, I know all about the Eye.
Yeah.
Oh, your turn. My turn.
So this is number 3 of Gabriel's list.
Here we go.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Now, this is a nostalgic movie. I really don't have to explain anything to anybody about Jurassic Park.
No.
I think everybody gets it.
But you should still add something.
I absolutely will. So, the best way to describe how good this movie is that they're still making them, and they're still bad, but they're all coasting off of the success and how good the first one was. There's just so many great moments in here. It's Spielberg being Spielberg.
It's Spielberg.
That's what I'm saying. I can't really, I really got to defend myself, but it's on my list because it's one of the ones I grew up with. Very nostalgic. It's very goddamn good. Like that, the T-Rex scene is still iconic, and the CG still looks good.
It's incredible.
At least on the T-Rex scene, yeah.
Like, for it to still look that well,
right?
And it holds up well still.
Yeah, the scene with the long neck, or what is it, Brachiosaurus?
The Brachiosaurus. When they're in the treetop.
Yep. Very ripped off. I don't mean to say ripped off, but for lack of a better term, like what The Last of Us does with giraffes is like what Jurassic Park does with that Brachiosaurus. So it's kind of just like a break from all the chaos and just like, oh, hey, like these creatures are beautiful too.
Yeah, like we have to see both sides of it.
Yep. And yeah, just everything. All the dinosaurs, all the action scenes, the kitchen scene itself is iconic. So cool. Yeah.
I mean, one word. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, baby.
Who doesn't like dinosaurs?
Well,
we watch, a dinosaur movie comes out and chances are I'm going to watch it.
You know what's weird?
What?
Is how like Jurassic Park kind of like has this like monopoly over dinosaurs, and it's like nobody wants to touch it because Jurassic Park does so well.
Actually, the
Adam Driver movie. What's it called? 43 million?
47, I think. I can't remember.
I didn't see that one.
I didn't see it either.
I think I'm gonna watch it by the end of the year.
I have to. It's Adam Driver.
It is Adam Driver. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So what are we on, number 4?
Yeah, number 4. I like it. I do like the list though.
The Dark Knight Rises. No, I'm just playing. Just The Dark Knight, the 2008 movie. Same year that the MCU started. And what a contrast.
Nothing to be said about this movie.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Go ahead. You wanted to say something. Even
I think, for me, this is one of the movies that has some of the most iconic moments in really, in my opinion, any movie.
Honestly, yes.
You know, the Joker.
One of the most iconic characters.
And characters. You know,
another Oscar winner. You're very, very artsy fartsy over here.
Am I?
But go ahead.
So, I mean, that was it. It's just, I feel like it's one of the movies that has some of the most iconic scenes and moments in movies in general.
Right.
It's one of those movies that you show someone a scene or even a quote and they immediately know where that's from.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's just
everybody has their Heath Ledger impression. I'm not going to make you do it, and I'm not going to make a fool out of myself trying to do it right now.
I'm in the same boat as you do.
But why did it make your list? Because you talked about how great it was.
It made my list because the Joker was, when I saw it, to me it was like one of the first villains or one of the first antagonists where I was like, yeah. I kind of see where he's coming from.
Yeah, I kind of get it. I kind of hate people.
I kind of understand where this guy's coming from, and I feel it. Like, I understand. Do I agree with him, what he's doing?
Yeah.
Probably not. But
absolutely.
His ideology, I get it.
Yeah. And he's just, the Joker is just an iconic villain in general. Exactly. And then for Heath Ledger to come in and make his own mark on the character, and I think the best version of the character. I love Mark Hamill. That's about it. I'm not going to say anything about the other Jokers, except for, what's his name?
Joaquin Phoenix.
You already know. He's the only other one, in my opinion, worth noting.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson is all right.
Jack Nicholson.
Sorry. Okay.
Moving on, and I think for you, we are number 4.
4.
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
Okay. I like this one a lot.
Okay, so you have seen it.
Yes, of course.
Have we talked about it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
But
elaborate.
This movie makes me feel good.
Yeah. It's a feel-good movie.
It's a feel-good movie. A little bit of a downer. Mm-hmm. It's Matt Damon. Mm-hmm. It's written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I think they got the Oscar for this one.
I don't know.
I think they did. Look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
I don't know. Not me.
It's about Matt Damon. He's a genius. I'm only explaining this movie because I don't think a lot of people have seen it. Uh-huh. He's a boy genius. Mm-hmm. He's really good at math and numbers. Mm-hmm. But he's a janitor at a school. Mm-hmm. And, he has a tragic past, and he doesn't know how to deal with it, and he's a bad boy. So he doesn't go to the school. He's just a janitor at the school. Right. But he's really smart. He solves the formula that nobody knows how. And he's a fighter. He gets into trouble, gets locked up. The only way he's not going to get locked up for good is if he goes and sees a therapist. Nobody wants to work with him until Robin Williams comes and delivers a great performance. So many memorable moments. It's a good movie if you're feeling sad and you want to watch something sad. Yeah. But feel good too. Like, by the end, it makes you feel good. One of the best endings that I've seen. And hey, maybe this topic will come up another day, but I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Then that will be enough for me then.
Number 5. The Iron Giant. Here's your animated movie. I was like, what's better than Into the Spider-Verse? You got the Iron Giant. That's acceptable.
I got the Iron Giant in there. It is a movie that I watched hundreds of times when I was a kid, and even then growing up. And I think you brought this up and once where I didn't know that he was being voiced by
Vin Diesel.
And it's just such a cool movie. Like how I remember when I was younger, when I first watched it, I was like, how cool would it be if I had my own robot. But just the ending, that iconic moment, is just incredible.
Yep.
Like, even now, like, I watch it every once in a while, and I'm just like, holy shit, this is a great freaking movie. It's so good.
I gotta be honest. I also grew up watching it like a lot. I just remember watching it a lot when, like, as a kid. Like, I have like a faint memory of watching it a lot, but I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I don't remember the story that well.
Oh no!
Is it something I have to revisit?
I think so. So, quick little rundown. Do you want me to?
Very quickly.
So this robot falls from like outer space,
right?
And he gets destroyed in a sense.
He's magnetic.
He's magnetic, and this kid from a farm stumbles across him and just befriends him.
Right.
So I'll leave it at that. There's other conflicts that go on that, you know, kind of round up the movie.
Right. But
that's the gist of it, is the kid befriending this robot alien and just really caring about him.
Yeah, I remember
their friendship.
And it's like a single mother, and then like the boyfriend's like a cop or something, right?
No, the boyfriend is an artist.
At night.
The boyfriend,
and he's a cop.
The boyfriend is an artist. He has some issues with the cop, I guess, from the past.
There is a cop, though.
Yeah,
right?
there is a cop.
Is he a redhead or something?
Yes.
See?
No, the redhead is the bully, I think, of the kid. I think, if I remember correctly. It has been a while.
Okay,
but there are cops, and there's the military, because they see the robot as a threat.
I remember, like, him having like to hide when the military comes, or at least like the cop comes.
Exactly.
And then I know he likes Superman, and that, like, you know, he thinks he's Superman at the end. Yeah, Superman. I remember flying. Yeah,
that's so cool.
What I'm saying. I remember, but I don't remember like the emotional beats of just, you know. I probably do have to rewatch it.
You do. You absolutely do.
Okay.
And it's a short movie too, so.
Is it hour 20?
Looking at probably less.
What?
No, actually, no, you're right. Hour 20.
And around that time, Vin Diesel was just popping up in everything. Saving Private Ryan. He started doing Fast and Furious, Pitch Black. Like, he just pops up out of nowhere. Iron Giant.
Yeah, I think yesterday we were just talking about him briefly, how we're like, what other movies has he been out on?
Yeah.
And Triple X. Riddick.
That was, yeah.
Those were cool.
What happened to him? Now he's just Dominic Toretto. He's just making too much money doing that.
Yeah.
And Groot. He's Groot.
We'll talk about that some other time. So anyway, back to our number.
I think 5.
I think it was 5 for Gabriel's.
You still drinking?
I am.
I think we're going to need another one.
Super bad.
I love this movie. I love all these movies.
Okay.
But this is another, I'm going to repeat myself a lot. This is a comfort movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching this movie with my mom. She loves Superbad. And whenever it was on, again, back when we would have cable, because it came out 2007, I think. Yeah. So we still had cable up to like maybe like 2012, 13, something like that. And so nobody had it anymore. But every time it was on, she'd be like, put it on the channel, Superbad is on. And I remember watching it with her for the first time too. And I saw it on a computer.
Right.
I was pirating it. But then I showed it to my mom after. Like, just, I don't know how, but we were watching it in her room. And I remember her crying. That's my memory of this movie. Her crying, laughing when Seth gets hit by the car. The first car.
That's a fun.
She was crying. And then, like, I was rewinding it, putting it in slow motion, and she was dead for like 5 minutes straight. And I love hearing my mom laugh.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I do remember one of my favorite parts is when they're shooting each other with the vest on.
I think you're thinking of Hangover.
No, it's not.
Well, they're shooting each other with a vest on?
Yeah,
what do you
what's
mean?
her name? Chloe Grace Moretz is wearing
You're thinking.
Am I thinking of a different movie?
You're thinking of Kick-Ass.
Oh, I'm thinking Kick-Ass.
No, Superbad with Michael Cera, with Fogel McLovin.
Oh yeah, okay, there we go.
Superbad.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's been a while.
You do this a lot.
I haven't seen both of those movies in a long time.
You should watch Superbad again, because on top of it being hilarious, and that's the thing, like, it really is a movie that you, like, if you see it multiple times, it's still funny. At least to me, it's still funny. I know the jokes are coming; they still hit the same. But I think that it is like, I think it's a great coming of age movie. Where even though it's hilarious, there are character arcs in there for the characters. And by the end, again, going back to watching it with my mom, she was crying and laughing, but then she was even like tearing up at the end. And it is a little emotional, but she was like tearing up at the end because the boys they start to go their separate ways.
Right.
So yeah, just really good movie. Still laugh every time I see it. I saw it not too long ago. Still laughing. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
That works for me.
What is that, number 5?
Yeah. That one's gonna be number 6 for me.
Okay.
You get another drink? You get another drink.
We need another drink. Let me take a drink first, and then I'll kind of review the top 5 really quick. Let me take a drink. You go get a drink. Hey, everybody. It's just us now. So quickly reviewing Misael's list. He has Whiplash. He has Logan. He has The Return of the King, The Dark Knight, and The Iron Giant. That's a solid list. Now let me go to mine. So far I have Creed, great. Spider-Man 3, which is not great, but it's great on my list. Jurassic Park, Good Will Hunting, and Superbad. So far, no repeats. You said, how many would we have in common? What was your prediction?
I didn't predict.
That's true. Huh? Only I did.
You predicted 2.
I said that we were going to have 2 in common. So far, 0.
So far.
I kind of want to lay them out. That way we can see them. That way we can see them, just you and me, buddy. Okay. You popped open. Okay, I see. All right. Number 6 for Misael. You have Onward.
Onward.
Wow. Another animated movie. Now, this is your list. I don't give a shit. Well, I give a shit, but
okay.
I'm not going to criticize you.
Okay.
I'm surprised this made it and not Into the Spider-Verse. That's all I'm going to say.
Really?
Yep.
Well,
but I get it. I get it.
I was going to say, I'm like, you should know why.
I was just talking to some coworkers about this movie like 2 weeks ago, and I was telling them how good it was and underrated it was and how it didn't get any love because it came out during COVID.
Right.
And it's kind of been forgotten about.
That's the movie I recommend people that haven't really gotten into like Pixar and like animated. I'm like, you need to watch this one.
Especially if you have siblings. But go ahead. Why is it on your list?
Well, you just said it right now, because I have siblings.
Yep.
Because I have siblings. And the last time I watched it was probably a few months ago, and I watched it with my dad.
For the first time? Like his first time?
I think it was the second time, but the first time he watched it on his own.
Oh, wow.
So this is the first time that me, my siblings, and my dad watched it together.
And you guys all cried.
And look, I came close to crying.
Yeah.
And my dad said, "This is a sad movie."
Which means like
oh shit, this is hitting.
I remember, I don't mean to hijack, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Go for it.
Just to piggyback off your dad's reaction. Like when we saw Spider-Man No Way Home, when I went with my mom to go watch it, 'cause I saw it like 5 times, but when I saw it with my mom, she leaned over when all 3 Spider-Men had got together and they were going to start swinging, like when they finally start working as a team. And she leaned over and said, "This is so cool." But like that was her version of like, "Let's fucking go."
Yeah,
exactly. So I get it. Like him, that little reaction meant a lot.
Yeah. So at that moment I knew like this is for sure a good movie.
Yeah.
And it's a movie that I feel like I could put on at any time. And I think it's just so cool. Like it's like the whole D&D, you know, like theme going on, and just like epic adventure that the 2 brothers are going on. And, you know, for one, it seems kind of silly, right? But when you think about it, it's really these small moments that make something epic. An adventure epic.
And that's what Pixar does good. Over Toy Story too.
It was hard.
I bet.
I told you. I told you I struggled with this list.
Now, just my thoughts on Onward. I know it's your list, but since we're talking about these movies, I do think it's underrated. But I wish the adventure was a little more exciting. It's just that it has such a good payoff. Yeah, like I think the adventure is okay, but the payoff is so damn good.
It's rewarding.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's rewarding.
It's rewarding.
Look at this list. Not one repeat yet. Wow. Yet. Damn it. I spoiled. Well, you know, because you have Whiplash on there. Spoilers. I might as well find it and just bring it out.
This is Gabriel's number 6.
Which one is it?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Into the Spider. Now you know why I got beef.
You don't got beef.
I don't got beef.
You just wished.
No, I don't wish nothing.
You just wish it would have made my list.
I just wish we had more in common. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie, period.
I agree.
Well, why isn't it on your list? No, I get it.
Is there another Spider-Man on my list?
Oh. Yeah, this movie I think is perfect. It's hard to say much because this is one I don't want to spoil if you haven't watched it. I'm sure a lot of people have, but just in case somebody doesn't like animated movies,
it's been a while. Hopefully, this gets into
Yeah, it's made my. If you care about my opinion, if you respect my opinion, then yeah, maybe this means something, and you'll be all like, oh, maybe I should check it out.
It was my honorable mention.
Yeah, so Into the Spider-Verse, I think is a perfect movie. If you want to talk about real criticism, I think it's perfectly paced. Mm-hmm. I think his character arc is incredible. A lot of these movies for me, actually, now that I'm realizing it, are about someone confronting their fears, which is one of the best stories to watch. But watching this young Spider-Man, and in this universe, not a spoiler, in the beginning, Peter Parker dies. Miles Morales has to take over as Spider-Man, and all this multiverse shit happens. It goes down. And he has to learn how to be Spider-Man around other Spider-Men, and he's failing constantly. And again, I don't want to spoil it, but just the payoff of the Let's Go or what is it called? The What's Up Danger scene. I watched that scene so much. Put a W on my YouTube and What's Up Danger will pop up. But yeah,
and the soundtrack too.
The soundtrack's incredible.
Yeah, it gave us Sunflower.
Yeah. If you like Post Malone, you like Sunflower. It came from Spider-Verse.
But I don't think I have anything else to add. It's a phenomenal movie.
It's perfect. Say it's perfect.
Phenomenal.
Sounds like a 9 out of 10 to me.
Incredible.
10 out of 10.
9 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10.
Okay. So what are we at? 7?
Yeah.
Number 7 for Misael.
Oh, real quick.
I saw it already. What? Go ahead.
We will get the Spider-Verse soon.
The new one?
New one.
Yeah. We're going to get it in a
June.
Couple weeks?
2nd.
4 or 5 weeks?
Somewhere around there. Point being is, it's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little worried.
About?
Well, one, I think the first one's perfect. Not that the second one has to be or live up to it. Like, I'm fine if it doesn't live up to it, as long as it's good. But I saw the runtime. It's going to be like over 2 hours. It's going to be like the longest animated movie. Yeah. The longest animated movie from like a major studio. So I'm a little worried about how ambitious they're getting. But I should have faith in them because of how good the first one is. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Move on.
Round 7
of my list.
Avengers Endgame, which was on my honorable mentions.
It was in your honorable mention. And I'm surprised it's not on your top 10.
I'll explain why, but you explain why it's on yours first.
Do I have to explain?
No, you don't.
I do not have to explain.
But for the uneducated.
Well, first of all, it wraps up the saga. And I think just the way how it all culminates and comes back together to this one movie.
10 years of payoff.
10 years of payoff was incredible. And I think I speak for all of us, or if not all most of us, about that one scene where we all think it's over.
This one we could spoil.
I will, but
okay.
Let me build up to it. Right?
Okay.
We all think it's over. Like our superheroes have lost, and
all
Thanos have won.
Lost.
All hope is lost. And we still see Captain America say, I could do this all day.
By himself. He's facing an army.
He's facing an army, an alien army.
And what does he do with his shield broken? He just straps that shit
straps it up. He's all beat up. Says, I could do this all day.
And then what happens?
And then
the best scene.
Just when you think we're like, oh my God, we're losing Captain America. This is over. The best scene happens. All the portals open. Freaking Doctor Strange.
Well, first.
Okay, go on.
We hear over the intercom, like, Cap, can you read me? Cap, on your left. And then all the portals open, baby. All the portals open, and everybody's back.
Everyone. And it's just the coolest shit ever. I got the chill just talking about it. I got the chill just talking about it.
Now, this is a movie that I don't just watch. Like, no. I have to earn Endgame. And by that, I mean I have to watch at least Infinity War before and then watch Endgame all the way through. Yeah. I get why people just watch the portal scene on YouTube. It's badass. But I just feel like it's not as effective. Like, I want those chills every time.
Well, Infinity War and Endgame are like one movie.
Yeah, they are. It might as well be Infinity War / Endgame.
Exactly. Which is what you did on your honorable mention.
Yeah. And the reason why I didn't make mine is because when I'm thinking about like top 10 movies, I kind of feel like it's a cheat. Because you need to watch a lot of movies to get to this one.
Well, it's your list.
I know, but again, like it just feels wrong just to watch those.
Oh, okay.
Like that's only knockout. I'm not saying that that I like all these movies more than Endgame.
Right.
But just from one, I know we're gonna talk about the MCU in the future. Yeah. But I didn't want to force MCU movies out of my list unless I had movies that I liked just as much. Like, I didn't want to take off Endgame unless I thought there was movies that deserved to be there. But with that being said, yeah, I just feel like it's just not fair. Like, it requires so much. Like, if somebody were to watch all my movies, like oh, for some reason I respect his opinion. Okay. And I'm gonna watch all these movies, they would be so confused at Infinity War / Endgame. Or maybe not, I don't know. But
no, I see. But that was your point. I see your point.
Yeah.
And I
also see why you put it on there. Like, I'm not gonna fight you on that.
Exactly. So moving on to number 7 of Gabriel's list, we have The Fast, and the Furiosos.
The Fast and the Furious, the first one.
Yeah,
the
Fast and the
Furious.
So
this fall,
I understand.
You understand? Okay.
But go on.
So this falls under the same category as Spider-Man 3. Except I think this is a good movie. It's just really cheesy and a sign of the time.
Well, back then it wasn't cheesy. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's a product of its time.
Okay, yeah. Phenomenal.
Watching it now is really cheesy, but this is, again, one of the most quotable movies between me and my friends, especially my friend Eric and Augie. We quote this shit all the time. It's, again, a feel-good movie where, like, I'll watch it, I'll know the lines are coming, and it's kind of just like, I don't mean to, like, be an asshole about it, but you turn your brain off and you just have fun. You're just in it for the ride, no pun intended. And this was before it was like before the Fast and Furious was a meme. This is the first one. This is before it was anything. One. And it's really good.
I think I read somewhere that they didn't think it was going to lead to anything.
Oh, hell no. Just like the cast didn't even come back for the second one.
Yeah.
Well, at least Vin Diesel didn't.
Vin Diesel.
Or the third one. They were trying to go a different direction, and then they came back for 4, and it's been ever since.
Mm-hmm. Now it's just its own thing. Yeah. I don't even know what to describe it as.
This movie also inspired a lot of people to want to race.
Cars.
Yeah.
The car culture.
Imagine just racing.
I remember after this movie came out, people were talking about it more.
Neon lights everywhere.
Even to this day, people talk about these cars.
People
about the Skyline, the R34, the Supra. These are iconic cars, and I think it was this movie that made them...
Definitely blew it up. They definitely were inspired from something, but yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes my list.
Great
Number
choice.
7. Now we're down to the final 3. Number 8 on Misael's list. Interstellar. God damn it. This
Interstellar.
I considered it, but it didn't even make my honorable mentions. Like, it's probably somewhere around like 18, 19, 20, somewhere around there.
Right.
But go ahead.
I'm a huge space nerd. I love space. And I know for some of you more purists, you might hate the fact that it's on my list and not
You don't like
Mars.
fun.
and not Mars.
And not Mars? The Martian?
The Martian, I mean.
Okay.
Sorry. Not Matt Damon, which is still a great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
But Interstellar just hits different.
It's a spectacle.
It's a beautiful movie. The score is great.
Did you watch it in theaters?
Yes, I did.
That score was kicking.
It was freaking badass.
Saw shit in IMAX. That shit was kicking.
So just the fact that seeing that like black hole and like the whole concept and theory about like time and like multidimensional, space and whatnot was just so cool. At the time, what came out? It's 2014. I was still in high school.
Okay. Senior.
Oh yeah, senior in high school. I was on my way out, and I was just like, I didn't know shit about.
I want to be Matthew McConaughey.
I was like, this is so freaking cool. And if this, like, to me, this was real. Like, this was like based off of like real physics and math and whatnot. And I was, this is so freaking badass. And it kind of really made me appreciate space more. And it's a visually beautiful movie.
Oh yeah, the scene with the black hole.
With the black hole,
that shot's iconic. Yeah.
And I remember like one of my favorite scenes is when they land on that planet with the big waves. When they're like, "Oh, this is a small wave." Yeah, I forgot the name. And then I remember Matthew McConaughey is like, "We need to get out of here right now because those waves over there are."
Well, they think they're mountains at first. That's how big they are. It's like, and they're like, those
massive.
aren't mountains, and you see it coming.
And they're just like hauling ass back to their ship.
And the movie, like, at least the mission is simple. Like we got three. What would you call them? Three.
In theory, it's a simple movie. In theory,
right?
But it's more complex than that.
Well, I just mean like the basic goal. Like Earth is done. They need to find a new habitable planet, and they have signals from 3 people they've sent from different planets.
Right.
And they need to check them out, but they kind of have to figure out which one they're going to go to. Do they have time? Like,
but of course, nothing goes as planned.
Nothing goes as planned. As a matter of fact, it goes terribly.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly.
That has one of the saddest scenes for me is when they're on the planet. It's upsetting me that I don't know the name. It's a name. It's somebody's planet.
Yeah.
I forgot who. But yeah, they go on the planet. Water comes and messes up with their ship.
They realize that time works differently.
It works differently. The longer they're there, like they could be there for minutes and it's skipping years.
If I remember, for each minute they're there, I think 20 through.
There's no way it's
7 years.
It's something like
go
that. Yeah.
by. But I think it was 23 in total.
Okay, yeah. Because they go back with the ship and the guy's older, the one that stayed behind.
Yeah, he's like, where are you guys?
And then he gets the messages from his daughter that has been over like 20 years and she's grown and everything. Oh, it's so good.
It's
so
movie.
good.
It's such a good movie.
And we still didn't spoil that much.
I know.
Okay. Oh, it's my turn.
So,
Slash.
Interstellar. Phenomenal movie.
You have a great list.
Thank you.
Have we repeated yet? No, huh?
No.
Wow.
So let's see.
Let me make some room for you.
Why'd you?
I don't even remember which one it is.
So for Gabriel's eighth, is it eighth?
Eighth movie. Oh, I think I know what it is.
For Gabriel's eighth movie, Scream.
Oh, I didn't know this one was next.
Scream.
I love Scream. Scream.
Yeah, it's one of your favorite like slasher movies.
Yeah, Ghostface is my favorite slasher. I love that Scream is a celebration of a lot of horror movies, not just the slasher franchise. Well, I guess the first one really is a love letter to the slashers. It is. It really is like to horror fans for the slashers. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like just the formula now for all the Scream movies, but at the time, it was very iconic for like how it was kind of being like self-referential. And the ghost, everybody's been Ghostface for Halloween. Everybody at least either have been Ghostface or you put the mask on.
I concur that I've been Ghostface at least 3 times.
There you go. But yeah, overall, like the reveal. That's the thing is it's very formulaic now. But the reveal of the killers, like that's in the movie. It's already pretty good. And the reveal of the killers at the party. And how it's her boyfriend and everything, and how iconic that is, and just all the hair and everything. Again, another movie that's a product of its time.
Exactly.
It's very iconic. I love watching it over and over. And surprisingly, this is another comfort movie for me. I think my comfort movies are the ones that remind me of my childhood and watching
like
these. Yeah,
I like how it's still going on.
Me too. I've liked them. It just seems like nothing, because I'm not all
horror.
Like, no, I do like horror, but what I mean is like I'm not all like nothing's gonna be better than the first one.
Okay.
Because Fast and Furious is not the best.
You're not a purist.
No. Fast and Furious is not the best one. I think Fast 5 is. For Scream, I think it is the best one. I think they can't beat that one. They can't beat it.
No.
I don't think so.
I'm on the same boat as you.
All right. Number 9?
I think so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9.
Number 9. We have The Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire Strikes Back. So first of all, I want to say that choosing this over A New Hope was difficult.
Really? Okay, I like A New Hope too, but that's not a popular opinion.
No.
With our group, with our age,
yeah,
generation.
I love A New Hope too. So real quick, I did want to keep my top 10 diverse.
Okay.
But I chose Empire. I chose The Empire Strikes Back because of that awesome moment between Anakin and Luke.
I like how you call them Anakin. I love how you call them Anakin. Well, you're showing your age.
I'm showing my age.
Yeah,
Anakin or Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. Yeah,
I
the
think
most iconic twist of all time.
The twist of all time, and even though Mark Hamill's acting isn't the best in that sense, it's still so
great
cool.
Voice actor.
Yeah, but as an overall actor, I don't know, but definitely has one of my favorite like fight scenes or like sword scenes or whatever. Right. And just as you said, the biggest twist in one of the biggest movies ever. I am your father.
So good. It didn't. I like Empire Strikes Back. It didn't come close to making my top 10. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Right. It's just that like when I was coming up with like I didn't consider it at all.
Right.
It's probably the best Star Wars movie. Yeah, but I don't know. It just doesn't hit like that for me, like how it does with other people. It might be because like by the time I seen it all the way through beginning to end, like you kind of know everything that's gonna happen before you even watch it because of just pop culture.
Well, I want to say it's also of a comfort movie for me.
Oh, I definitely see that. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, the comfort movie for me out of the Star Wars, like we're just talking about, like again, like feeling like a kid. Not even that.
Really,
would be Revenge of the Sith. Just in terms of like feeling young and like going to the premiere and all that shit.
Yeah. Because those are the movies that we saw in theater,
right?
Obviously.
Yeah, but I remember like on the holidays, it was always on Spike TV.
Exactly, Spike TV.
So yeah, I get it. It might be somewhere in the 20s for me. So I don't mean to say like, oh, it's not even close. Like it's just. I just knew it wouldn't be top 10. Mm-hmm. I don't have any Star Wars movies in here, actually, even though I enjoy them. I think just the fan base has just ruined it for me.
Well, I remember there was a time when we were talking about it a lot, remember?
Yeah.
I think currently you're playing Survivor?
Oh, yeah. Playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Mm-hmm. So I still love Star Wars, but there's just so much of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, let's move on to your number 9.
And finally,
The Dark Knight.
We have a repeat. The Dark Knight is... I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It probably is... I mean, it's the only superhero movie on here. Oh, no, I have 2 Spider-Mans. But one's bad and one's an animated. I'll say this. I think it is the best live-action superhero movie. I know it's not a hot take or anything. I know there's a lot of people that'll agree with me on that. We've talked enough about it. Well, I let you talk about it. I didn't say anything for this reason because I knew it was coming up. It's incredible. There's so many great iconic scenes. It's half the Batman movie. It's half a Batman movie and then half a Joker movie. Maybe like 70% a Joker movie.
Yeah,
because he's definitely the most interesting character in here. But just the way, for me, like what sums this movie up and makes it like stand above the rest is how the Joker, and they nailed the Joker dynamic, by the way, but how the Joker's whole point is to, well, first of all, it's just to cause carnage, chaos. Yeah. But after a while, once he sees what what he can do to the city, he picks on Harvey Dent and realizes like I'm gonna break him. Right. Like no matter what happens here, like I'm just messing around. I don't have a plan. Even that's another thing. He always says he doesn't have a plan. He always has a plan. He's just so smart. But him breaking Harvey Dent and the ending of that movie is just so perfect because he makes Harvey do his dirty work. And then like Harvey does his whole thing with the coin and everything. Yeah, he embraces the Two-Face moniker. And just the ending of he beats the Joker, which has been the bad guy the whole time. But what the Joker has really done is corrupt Harvey Dent and turns him into Two-Face.
He's like, yeah, you got me. You beat me. At what cost, though?
Yeah, and he's laughing when he gets caught. Of course, he's the Joker. But at the end, when it's Two-Face as the final threat, and he has Commissioner Gordon and his son, or his whole family, and just how crazy, I forgot the actor's name, but how crazy he gets as Two-Face. And he has a gun to all their heads or whatever. He's flipping the coin, like, oh, which one do you love more or whatever. And then he's going to kill the son, or maybe, because we didn't even get to see what the coin landed on.
Right.
Batman comes through, accidentally kills him. And just the ending. And again, we'll probably talk about like favorite endings in the future. But it's so good.
Just say it.
I'm going to butcher it. But it's like Batman says... See, now I got to explain the whole plot.
No. Just say
well, Harvey Dent locked up a lot of people.
Okay.
And now that he's a bad guy, that Joker corrupted him, there's a chance that can mess up the trial, and all these bad guys that he locked up, like hundreds, will get free. So the Commissioner Gordon, he's got an idea, or him and Batman, or Batman actually has the idea, where he's just like, I can kill that. Like I could kill him. I could be the guy that killed those people that Harvey really did. So he takes the blame for it. Because he
say the line.
I that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna butcher. I should have looked it up. The line. But so he's running away. And the cops are coming after him because it's being called in now. Like, hey, Batman actually killed those people, and he just killed Harvey Dent. So Batman's running away. The cops are chasing him. Commissioner Gordon's stupid little kid is just, what happened? He's there the whole time. I don't know what happened. So he's us. Like that way, Commissioner Gordon could have the sickest freaking monologue on the way out. Like, why are they chasing? Why is he running? And then he says, because he can take it. Because he's the watchful protector. I'm gonna butcher it, but he's the watchful protector. The Dark Knight. As he's on the motorcycle running away, his cape's flapping in the front of the screen. It turns black, and then the score hits. Oh, The Dark Knight is on my list.
Dark Knight,
and I butchered that last line. If you've never seen The Dark Knight, go watch that final monologue. Watch the movie, but for sure that final monologue is so good. I get chills every time. One of the best endings of all time.
I agree.
Period.
It's on my list.
Period.
So
our first repeat, by the way.
Yeah.
Your number 10. Final answer. Top Gun Maverick. Interesting. That's new.
I left it at the top, for last for.
Why? You got something to say?
A lot to say.
Favorite movie of all time?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
But it was definitely a surprise for me.
Yeah, me too.
Because I wasn't expecting it to be that good.
I wasn't even planning to watch it.
And I watched it maybe 2-3 months after it came out. Because I was just like, I'm not going to watch this movie. It's not going to be good. I was just like, well, it was like, whatever.
It's a cash grab.
Whatever. And then one evening, I was like, I wasn't doing anything. I was bored. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go watch Top Gun. Why not? I'm not doing anything. And let me tell you, I was glued to the edge of my seat.
Yep.
My heart was racing, and I was like, this movie is freaking badass.
My hands were sweating.
I was sweating.
Every part of you was sweating.
I was sweating. And I was tense. I was nervous.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was in that freaking plane, you know, in the
cockpit.
In the cockpit with them, just freaking flying through the sky. And I was just like, this movie's freaking badass. And I liked the first one a lot too.
See, I watched it for the first time going into this one because I wanted to be ready because of the hype and everything. So I saw it for the first time last year.
You said
the first one. First one I thought was all right.
Okay.
This Top Gun Maverick is definitely better. Like
by far, by far.
Anybody that's wearing those nostalgia goggles, you're a liar. Top Gun 1 is okay.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick is really good.
No, you know, when I was making this list, it just popped up into my head, and I was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna add this."
Was this one that you struggled with, or it always was on the list?
This one was on the list.
Okay.
Yeah. The moment it came to my head, I was like, "It's going on my list," because as of now, it's really one of my top 10.
Yeah, I've only seen it once. I really liked it. Really tense, like you said. Hands were sweating. We watched it in D-Box, so like our seats were all moving and shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I had to lower the intensity because I was like, we're moving a little too much. And the thing with D-Box, at least in our theater here, it's only one row.
Yeah.
So everybody behind you is just sitting normal, and you're right there going. So it was Jets' first time doing D-Box, and I told her we got to watch it for this movie because I knew it was going to be crazy. So we went in there. Seat was crazy. I lowered the intensity like right away because you can change how much it shakes. I was lowering it right away. I was just like, I'm not doing this the whole time, but I was still moving. But then Jets, I looked at her. She had the intensity on like halfway through the movie. It was still all the way high. So she really liked that. But besides that, like the gimmick way that we watched the movie.
Yeah.
The movie itself is great. It's tense. Tom Cruise is great. The last action star is what they're calling him. That's what they call him.
That is true. Yeah,
Vin Diesel is right there.
They're calling him not just the last action star, just the last like literal act.
Like he does his own stunts.
No. Well, yes, but what I'm trying to say is that he's like the last actual star, like actor star that like you see him kind of like what what's his name? Kind of like what Clint Eastwood is, you know.
Arnold
Schwarzenegger, right? Yeah, like he's supposed to be like the last one. And what
about The Rock? Well, The Rock doesn't do any stunts, but in a lot of action.
I don't know
movies.
about The Rock. I don't know.
The Rock didn't make any of our movies. Guess he's not an action star.
maybe Tom Holland in the future.
Maybe, yeah. He's got two under his belt. He got Spider-Man. He's got Uncharted. So we'll see. Now, without picking up my next card, are you done with Top Gun?
I am, unless you want to add something else.
No, it's just a great movie. I did not consider it for my list, but it is a great movie. So without looking at the next card and looking at these, which movie's missing?
Whiplash.
Reveal the card. Now, Whiplash, again, Creed was supposed to be last.
Right.
I'm comfortable with saying that Whiplash and Creed are definitely my 1 and 2 favorite movies. Even though we weren't ranking them, I did save them for last. And these are like the two that you for sure knew were on my list. But just for them. For the lovely people. Whiplash is, again, to me, a perfect movie. The pacing, like, I don't really care about pacing. Like if it's off, like, I like it to react structure. But I'm not tripping if we're jumping around either. So I don't care about pacing. It's either I notice if it's very bad or I compliment it if it's very good. And Whiplash, I see so much, and the movie just flies by.
It does.
Because it doesn't waste any time. I think, if anything, the B plot with the girlfriend, I think that's all right. I think that's just to show that, you know, how far he's going. Yeah, his ambition.
How far he's going to.
That, like, he doesn't even care about girls at that age, in college.
I don't like even the part with his family, that dinner.
Yeah, it just shows that he's a dick. And that's the thing is, he's not very likable. And the teacher's not likable.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, you don't know who you're, like, rooting for. Or if you're rooting for anyone, you're just kind of like...
Exactly. Well,
you're in it for the drama.
I think you do buy into it. Like you just want him to either quit or you want him to succeed.
It's just, he goes through so much, and you're just like, come on, man. Like, you have to have a breaking point.
Right.
And he just doesn't have one.
And he doesn't. And it goes so far. And we haven't spoiled this movie yet. Should we just spoil it? Because, again, this is one that I would definitely recommend. Like, above all. Like, maybe you shouldn't. Or maybe we should.
I don't know.
All I'll say, I won't spoil it.
Oh.
All I'll say is this: it definitely is a roller coaster ride.
It is,
but it's not one that, like, oh, you know, you take a break, you go down, you go up, and then you go back. No, it's just like going up slowly for a bit, and then you're just going down.
It's straight
it's just
drop.
one big drop. Yep. One of the best endings. It's I feel like I said that a couple times. I think it's how the movie ends that leaves a good impression on me. Mm-hmm. But Whiplash and Dark Knight for sure. The ending of this movie is so much payoff. Like, you think he's been through enough shit, and you kind of get over it. Like, you're just like, all right, like, enough is enough. Like, get over it.
What I like about the ending is that it could be interpreted in multiple ways.
Yeah, the ending, yeah.
The ending.
Like, the final shot.
Yeah, it could be up to you to decide.
Yeah, and that's a conversation in itself. Like, maybe one day we'll talk about it. We've definitely talked about it in person. Maybe one day we can talk about it here. Maybe when we talk about our favorite endings, we can talk about that in depth. But yeah, the ending itself, like the final performance, is incredible. Incredible. It's like 10, 15 minutes, something like that. And it goes by like that. I've seen that scene so many times.
It's so tense. So you just like at the end of just see
so much payoff. I think that's the most. I think that's the most payoff I've ever had in a movie.
Yeah. And I think, kind of what I was saying is, once you realize that, like, Miles Teller is this, like, that's him up there.
This is what he was capable of. This is what all the hard work
it's
led
wild.
to. Yeah,
I'm like, holy shit.
But like you're saying, like, again, like, we're kind of being a little spoilery, but not very. Like, watch the movie. But the final shot, like you said, it just puts the cherry on top of everything. It was already a good cake. Good movie, yeah. It was a good cake, and you put that cherry on top.
A sprinkle.
But yeah, that's our list.
Mm-hmm.
If our editor does a good job, the list will be right here. His list will be right here. My list will be right here.
So, just to kind of talk a little bit more about my list.
Yeah, sure. Fine. Yeah, we don't got to wrap up just yet.
I think it's objective for me. I think it could possibly change. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, depending on the day.
Yeah, it was,
again, Scott Pilgrim was on my list until,
as I was saying, it was a difficult list to make. I tried keeping it diverse, but I did realize there's some things that I kind of missed. Like, I think adding a horror movie would have been great because I do love horror.
Yeah, but you don't want to force it.
Exactly.
Which one would you have added?
That's a good one. The first one that came to my head was The Exorcist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which one were you?
I thought you were going to say Hereditary.
No. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But no. The Exorcist. Just because I just, again, kind of nostalgic. I do remember watching it and being freaking absolutely terrified. And I do remember, like, just struggling, sleeping at night, in the dark.
I still haven't finished that movie. I put it on cable one time, like as a young adult, as like an 18-year-old. I put it on because I've never seen it. Let me see what this is about. And 2 minutes in, I was just like, not today.
The fact that I finished it as a teenager, it's impressive. But it just kind of
put that on your resume.
That I do like horror movies.
Yeah.
I would. I watched.
Well, when October comes around, we could talk more about horror movies, and you could talk about it then.
Yeah.
Maybe an Exorcist review. Exorcist review. I can finally watch it beginning to end.
Yeah, no, there was some. There was more that I could have named.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, definitely, I tried to keep it as diverse.
Okay, yeah. Again, you didn't want to force it, so that's good. I just really like Scream. That's why it made it. It almost didn't.
I like your list, though. I like how you do have like some bad ones.
You do have some. You were afraid to put a bad one on here. What's the worst movie on your list?
You tell me. Which do you think
Onward.
is the worst one? Onward? Do you think Onward?
Out of these 10, yeah. Onward, I don't think is better than Interstellar, The Dark Knight, Top Gun, Return of the King, Whiplash, Endgame, Empire, Iron Giant, Logan. It's either Onward or Iron Giant. I just don't feel confident enough saying that because I haven't seen Iron Giant in a while, but
you should watch it. Short movie.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
No, I think that was it. Unless you want to mention,
I like my list more.
What do you mean?
I just like my list. I'm just playing.
Like your list over mine?
Yeah.
Well, you made it.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. I originally had like fun facts planned out, but I because at first I had Scott Pilgrim on my list.
Let's do this. Okay, just something that I just came up with. If you were to change one of yours with mine, which one would it be?
So swap?
Yeah.
We're swapping?
Yeah.
I would swap. Well, probably one of the bad ones. I would swap Spider-Man 3 with Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Yep.
Wow.
That's my favorite one on your list that I don't have.
Oh, really?
Yep. Definitely not Return of the King. Definitely not. What about you?
I think I would swap Endgame with. I think I'd go with into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, you feel guilty now, huh?
I do, because it is. It's a phenomenal movie.
Perfect.
I do like it. I like it a lot, and
it's perfect.
Like, it was one of my honorable mentions. But since it was one of my honorable mentions, the other ones the one that I would change from yours that wasn't an honorable mention, it would probably be Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Again, because of the.
It's Spielberg and it's Jurassic Park. That's all you have to say.
Nostalgia and everything. But yeah.
What do you think my worst movie is? It's definitely between Spider-Man and Fast and Furious.
Spider-Man.
Okay, fair enough.
Spider-Man 3.
That's why I put it at the top of my list. So we can get it over with. Okay. I think we're done here.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Had a good time.
Let us know your top 10 in the comments below.
And then, who knows? Maybe we'll do a little rundown of those as well sometime.
That would be fun. That would be cool.
So thanks for watching and for sticking through with us.
Yeah, if you made it this far, I want to see your top 10s in the bottom of
exactly.
No joke. Put your top 10 down there. Maybe one day we'll look at it. Maybe one day we'll have those people on and they can explain their own top 10s here.
I would love that.
Okay. That'll do it. My top 10 was definitely better.
Sure. You can say that all you want.
All right. Until next time. Peace out.
Peace.